2 minutes later, the runner was like, "Who's taking a shit in the corner of the like?" What
No.
the fuck is the
Isn't
dude?
there a-
There's a fucking turd in the corner of the.
What? What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you on set?
How long do we have?
Oh God,
I mean-
we've got as long as you
I've got some
can.
terrible stories. Terrible.
Oh,
mean,
come
Are
on.
these embarrassing or just bad?
What?
or-
What? Yeah, was the anything? We're fascinated by this world.
Okay. I've been shit on multiple times.
Accidentally, or
Yeah, I mean, look, if someone poos on you in an anal scene, I do not care.
right?
I do not moan in the slightest. It happens. But yeah, being pooed on just when you're not doing anal is always.
Does that happen often?
That's twice in my career.
What?
It's not too bad considering.
I don't know. There is.
How does that even happen?
Yeah, I have asked myself this question and Google this question. But yeah, no, that can always be tough. But again, it's tough for everyone in the room. It's, again, that girl did not do that on purpose. You know what I mean? It's your natural, it's your body at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
It's just so awkward for them, for me. You're normally underneath, so you're taking everything. You're covered.
Fuck.
And there's obviously 7 people there and a very upset female, so you've got to try and, negotiate that. And, you can't be going, you've got to be like, oh, it's fine. No, we're cool. Accidents happen.
Is that something you clean up and continue again afterwards?
Yep. Go and sort yourself out. Take as long as you need. And then
Back to it.
let's get that scene finished, shall we?
That's when you need a fluffer.
She's like, oh, I'm not going near that.
Has that happened to you, or has that only ever happened to you?
What, have I shit on
Yeah,
someone?
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't shit on anyone yet.
Yet.
It's early. It's early.
Still a chance.
But yeah, no, it's one of them. That can happen. I worked with one girl who was kind of crazy and a very unique character. We was doing the scene, and I don't know what happened, but halfway through it, she was just like, "Oh, I need a break. I need a break." Okay, no worries. Anyway, she was like milling around the studio, and she like wandered over to some sort of corner, popped a little squat, came back, and was like, "Oh, I'm all good to go now." And I didn't really register, and then 2 minutes later, the runner was like, "Who's taking a shit in the corner of the like?" What
No.
the fuck is the
Isn't
dude?
there a-
There's a fucking turd in the corner of the.
What?
And this girl had just wandered off, taken a poo, and there was like no tissue or anything.
Surely
There was
there's a
just-
toilet on set.
Yeah, of course. And it was just the most random. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't think this is okay. This is 10 years ago or so now. So a long time ago, I wasn't really confident. I didn't know what was going on, if this was normal. And I'm just pretty sure this isn't normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's, as I say, some strange stories from my.
That must land someone on a no list.
That was on no list. That was just I didn't finish the day that day. I remember I looked at the director and was like, dude, like there isn't any tissue over there. Like, what do I? He was like, yeah, we're not carrying on. Something's not right today. Is it? It's like, yeah.
That is fucking insane.
Are there any embarrassing stories that don't revolve around shit?
I was gonna say I'm very poo orientated.
Can I just say, we've been doing this show for what, 3 years now? That's probably one of the most insane stories I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, God, yeah, there's some crazy ones, as I say, but there's multitude of things that can happen that just can just be weird or scary or not understanding what's going on. I mean, we had armed police come up to one of my sets. That did not go well. So I had this big scene going on and had like all these henchmen. So I used like the local nightclub and got all of their bodyguards, right? 'Cause big old burly geezers, toes on their heads and all this sort of stuff. So I was like, right, I need you all in suits. I had this big like luxury manor house castle thing. And then I had them dotted all around the grounds like they were, big security and their guns and all this sort of stuff. Well, the location like had a rambler's walk or a public footpath or something going through the bottom of the garden. And these 2 ramblers walked past at the point where like the cars pulled up. I've got out, been frisked, and then there's just all these henchmen at this door, and they've let me in. So they've obviously called the police. Well, the police arrived, and obviously, like we're just in the middle of the scene, all this. So like, I think it was my wife at the time came running through, was like, "Yo, police, oh, Bill here. We need to shut down." So I'm like, "Okay, cool. Obviously, we're all legal, we're all covered and everything, but we just need to get dressed and go and approach this." So I've gone out and told them all, like, "Yeah, look, it's fake guns. We've got the whole location, exclusive hire. I've done everything I can to protect from the public, etc." He's like, "Okay, cool, no problems. We just need to make sure the firearms are all." So I was like, "Okay, perfect." So I'm just chatting away, really friendly with the guy. So I was, I thought we're cool. So I'm like, yeah, no, here's the guns. Went to grab it. This guy went from being my friend to shut the fuck up. Like, he was just like, go the fucking floor. I was like, whoa, he was cool. And then, I was like, okay, realised quite quickly that, don't mess around with the firearms. They
Yeah.
do not
Is that
mess
something you
around.
then carry on the scene afterwards?
Of course, yeah, we've done a few like that. We did one where we've had a girl hitchhiking and all this sort of stuff, and the police came and just like, all right, just want to make sure everything's okay and the girl's all right, and it's like, can we get a shot with like her in the police car? And they're like, I don't know about that. And I was like, well, we won't show the number plate or anything. Could that be? Cop was like, just maybe like just the side of it or something. I'm like, yeah. He's there taking pictures, and I'm like, yeah.
Have you ever been recognised by like a policeman or someone in that kind of job?
Not a policeman, no. I try and avoid the policeman as much as I can. They're looking at me like, oh, I bet they know you, don't they? Oh.
That's a joke we were making. Like when we said you were coming on today, one of my mates was with us, and I went to show him a picture, and I was like, "Oh, do you recognise him?" And he didn't say anything. I went, "That's a yes." I think it's quite obvious.
I like the one when they don't know. They know you, but they don't know.
What, they can't pinpoint where?
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I know you from somewhere. And
Yeah,
like,
and that
I'm
moment of
normally
re-
like, yeah, go on, where'd you?
Oh, that must be so
Or
strange.
I'll be
for
like,
you.
oh, you spend a lot of time on the internet, don't you, mate? And they're like, oh, you a YouTuber, or something like that. The best one though, I'm going to apologise now, right, in case this geezer's wife's listening, right? But this is by far my best ever recognising story. Right, I was in Asda's, right? Classy establishment, nothing but the best. Anyway, so I'm in Asda's, right? This geezer comes over and he's just like, Danny, you're right. Oh my God, bruv, how's it going? He's super excited. He's like, gotta grab a selfie. Is that cool? Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, cool. Anyway, took a quick selfie with him. With this, his missus, right, has come up to him. And he's like, you all right, babe? Danny? Oh, mate, what are the odds? You know what I mean? Mental. Just got a selfie with him. So she's like, oh, okay. Like, so literally, as we walk off, she's like, who's that? And I hear him go, he's a reserve player for Dagenham and Redbridge. She is never finding that. A reserve player for Dagenham. I don't even think they have reserves.
Oh, that was good for him.
So good.
And he looked at me, gave me a wink, and I was like, bro, like, where was that? Like, where did you get that?
Deep inside him, he's
Like,
pulled that
was
from.
gold.
That
you
is
know,
brilliant.
like-
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, I was like, mate, you are well versed, you know, like,
Yeah.
he was ready.
That's so good.
I've never forgot that. I'm like, just thought of that guy, and I'm like, yeah, man. I do hope one day. She's like, you know that geezer from Dagenham and Redbridge? He's only bloody on the internet now doing stuff for Brazzers.
That would be so good. Along with like embarrassing stories, have you ever had a situation where there might have been like an injury on set?
Injuries. Oh, yeah, there's been a few injuries. Obviously, if you hit your penis on a pelvic bone, it's always sore. Do you know
We
what I
don't
mean?
have that problem, Danny.
Well, you could do like the
How do
girl.
you reach a pelvic bone?
What I'll do is like if she's on top, she comes all the way out, and basically then she'll crack back on, but it doesn't go into the
Oh.
hole; it hit the bone,
Oh, I see what you mean.
and then that's
Right.
really really sore. That's just instant.
Done
pain.
for a bit there.
Done for a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, and then there's just been a few funny accidents, that kind of happen just in general production and stuff. I was doing a Star Wars parody.
What was it called?
It was that was Han Solo. Yeah, so it's Han Solo. I
Right.
think, yeah.
Okay.
Nice
yeah,
and easy.
Yeah.
But we had this big like fort location and whatnot, and shoot ended up going really late and stuff. And I had an American guy over, so he kind of wasn't versed of where he was and whatnot, and was shooting in part of this field. But it was like this old sort of army barracksy place that had all these just tunnels and all this sort of random stuff, and there wasn't any lights or anything. And anyway, I just came walking back and was wrapping up, and I just heard this, hello. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, so I go over, and it was Eric, like this top performer from the US who I'd flown in to do this film, and he'd fallen down this like cave thing, right? And he was probably like 20 foot just at the bottom of this hole, like pitch black and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing down there? And he's like, I just walked and fell. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get you out down there, buddy. Like, like I've got to ring my boss in a minute. and tell him that I've just flown in Hollywood's A-listers, thrown them down a cave, and you know what I mean? I got him out, and I'm like, right, don't worry, we're going to get you to the hospital. He's like, no. And so I was like, you know, he's like, oh, I don't know about my insurance and all this. And I was like, dude, this is the NHS. As soon as I told him it was the NHS and it was all free, he was like, get me in. He wanted an MRI. He wanted the lot. You know what I mean? Full checkout. You know what I mean? He was telling about his hemorrhoids. I'm like, what? You don't get hemorrhoids from a fall? He's like, yeah. Just like, Jesus. In there like 4.5 hours. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, one girl I knew, she was a waitress and whatnot. She's like, I don't know, not crazy, but she's been, you know, probably a year in, and she's like 12 grand a month now. She was a waitress, you know. Like,
Fair fucking play.